Hello everybody, Lady Gear to you here, and welcome back to Let's Play Tomb Raider Legend. In the previous video, we continued on our adventure through Peru. In this episode, we're going to be continuing. Yay.
The planks over the sinkhole broke, so you're gonna have to swing across.
This is a flashback of something that happened a few years ago in Laura's past when she was just beginning her career as an archaeologist.
You're such a tourist. What's happening? Amanda! Can you hear me? Amanda!
I always kind of found it funny that Laura's mouth didn't move when she talked during these. I know this is an older game, but they could have made her mouth move while she talked to herself and stuff like that.
Oh, Sarah. God. What's happened?
My sister Meanie Beanie, she can get through these levels so quickly that by the time that previous voice clip thingy played, she would have already been up. She would have been already on. She would have already had the box move out to the thing. In this flashback, the secrets are still here. I don't remember if there are silver rewards. I know there are bronze rewards, but there's not the gold reward's not in this place. Rather than we don't have any weapons right now, nor do we have any health packs. But we do have an infinite amount of flares which can light up this area, which is very much appreciated on the GameCube version where everything's darker.
Get one budge. Get me out.
It's all right.
There's a hole above me. You've got to get me out. Hurry, we've got to get out of here.
So, while Laura and her friends are going across this lovely little tomb of death, their friends keep dying and stuff. That seems to be like the archaeologist's curse of archaeology, how if you have a friend in the field of archaeology, either they're gonna die or you're gonna die.
Damn it, Lara.
I'm almost there.
Hey, I think I see a light.
Stay there, Kent. I'm coming down.
Amanda? Amanda! It's her!
Wait! Kent!
Run, Laura! Run for your life! I always like this part right here where it's from the perspective of the monster. I always thought that was really, really cool. Anywho, like I said, you have an infinite amount of flares. This is especially appreciated on the GameCube version where everything was darker. If you're wondering why everything was darker on the GameCube version, they had to do that because the GameCube was less powerful than the Xbox, and they had to darken a lot of the areas to fit the graphical power. I'm not quite sure what if this is true for the PlayStation 2 version of the game, because I've never played the PlayStation 2. It probably is, because the PlayStation 2 wasn't as powerful as the GameCube, if I remember correctly.
Laura! Jason's dead. Everybody's dead.
There's something. I don't know what it was. I only saw it.
It always sounded like that one guy said "mommy," and that was, I know this is supposed to be a serious part of the game, but that part right there just makes it that part right there just makes it really hilarious. And if you're fast enough, you can see Amanda, her friend, and the monster going across the second gate thing, which I always thought was a nice detail that they put in there. It really showed that they really just went all out when they were making this game about making every little detail just perfect. Cutscene!
I think this stone unlocks the door.
I don't like it. Are you sure you're reading it properly?
That thing is coming. You have a better idea?
The door might be trapped.
We're trapped. Oh, God!
perfectly honest, I think this is a terrible idea. Everyone agreed to leave things as they were.
I will as much as I can. But from what Rutland said, I'm sure there's a clue down there about what killed my mother. I have to go back.
There's no use trying to enter at the same point. It's caved in.
The river had to get in there somehow.
I'll leave you to figure out the how. I can't go down there. I'm sorry.
It's fine, really. If there's any trouble, call Zip and he'll patch you through. Don't take any chances. I'm not losing any more of my friends.
So, how you getting in?
The same way as the water, I hope. If you get a call from Anaya, patch her through straight away. I'm a little concerned about leaving her by herself.
I'll keep her company.
What Laura says about not losing any more of her friends, she kind of doesn't really, what's the word? Well, in the other Tomb Raider games, Laura loses her friends, like a couple times. The only example I could think of off the top of my head is the newest game, the Tomb Raider for the PlayStation and Xbox, which was not making for the Wii U, which is really irritating, but I might get a PlayStation 4 someday, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But anywho, we are continuing on our merry way through Peru. Laura seems to get into the most trouble whenever she's in Peru, because in Tomb Raider 1 and Tomb Raider Anniversary, she was in a valley filled with dinosaurs, and her boyfriend tried to kill her. And in this game, a bunch of her friends died from a monster. Laura just has to stop going to Peru. Anywho, if you're really skilled, you can get through this place without drowning. I highly recommend you don't do that because it is a huge area, and you want to use the air pockets as much as you can. You only really need the one if you're fast enough, like me. But my sister Mini Beanie can get through this entire place, only taking a little bit amount of damage without having to go back to an air pocket. This room right here was the one that got me confused when I started playing this game. Meanie Beanie, she knew exactly where to go, but only because we had a game guide for this game, which was a completely written guide, and I like to tease her saying that she cheated because she had to use an instruction manual to figure out how to get through this game.
Is that what I think it is? It's called an anachronism.
It was Amanda's.
High tops don't fall off your feet that easy.
It's been unlaced. I never imagined she could have survived.
There was a lot of water. She still might not have.
Yeah, I know I said this already, but when I first started playing through this game, I had no idea who Amanda was, so I thought that she might have been like a character from a previous Tomb Raider game, but this game was the first time that she appeared in the Tomb Raider series.
Her father was king, but she was lost and raised by a warrior. She became queen after a shaman named Tunupa discovered her royal heritage.
Tunupa is another name for Viracocha, their god of creation.
The shaman brought her to Lake Titicaca, where she borrowed his staff, an object of great power.
According to myth, Viracocha originally lived in the lake. The god of indoor plumbing.
She led her people into an era of peace. After many years of wise and just rule, there was some sort of power struggle. She died shortly thereafter, and she was carried off in a boat to paradise.
Remind you of something?
The King Arthur myth, yes. The similarities are striking.
King Arthur? Little help here?
It's the same story. A youth, unaware of his royal blood, rises from obscurity to become a wise king with the help of a friendly wizard and his magical staff or sword. and afterwards he's transported to paradise.
Many cultures share similar legends. The Great Flood, for example. Everyone's got that one too.
Don't you just love cutscene heavy levels? I certainly don't. They don't let me talk all that much. I'm just kidding. If I really wanted to, I could have talked about that entire cutscene, but I know that would have angered a lot of people. But anyway, this right here, this is the binocular mode. Laura can use the binoculars to go into first person and look around the room. It also has an RAD mode, which can allow you to scan objects and things like that. You can.
That's
It helps
something I can
you.
move.
It helps you figure out if something is movable, if something's fragile, if something's
That's a
a
mechanism.
mechanicalism, or stuff like that. It's kind of the equivalent to Laura's journal from Anniversary, where uh, if you're stuck, you can use this to
Remarkable contribution.
you can use it to help you figure out what it is you need to do. Except it's a lot more useful than it is than the journal in Anniversary.
That must have impressed some villagers back then.
I know it impresses me. It was nice, but it was in the way.
I also have to say, Zip is my favorite character out of except for Laura. I always found Zip to be the funniest because he's a little sarcastic at times, and especially in the later levels, he's just really funny. And I really like this puzzle right here where you have to use the gold block things to make these things open up. And I always liked what they looked like when they were opening up because it's all like open sesame, and it always looks funny. Now we have to move the gold circly thing of gold circliness to onto this thing. To make this thing right is so that we can redirect the light over to the thing's eyeballs. So that we can open up the other thing. How does light move a rock? That's what I really want to know.
The Queen's Shaman. A dais with a sword set into it, or in this case, Viracocha's staff. This is it.
Do you believe it's the same one we saw in Tiwanaku?
There's more than just one dais, but possibly.
So the shaman would be Merlin, and the staff would be whatever the hell King Arthur's sword was called.
It's called coincidence.
Funny name for a sword.
That's my favorite part of this level. I have no idea why, but that's like the funniest thing. That's like one of the funniest things Zip's ever said.
She's beautiful. We were so close before. So close.
Wonderful, Lara.
Do you notice anything familiar about her sword?
That's what Rutland was holding.
Except this is just a ceremonial copy. And what do we have here? The tip has broken off. My God. I had no idea it looked like this. I've seen this before, at Waseda University in Japan. But I didn't know it had anything to do with these artifacts.
Hell, I'll get a hold of him right now.
It's not there anymore. It was stolen by Shogo Takamoto.
Takamoto? Yakuza is nothing to mess with, Lara.
I don't care, Zip. I want that piece. Arrange a meeting.
Okay, but hang on. I got Anaya calling on her cell. I'm patching her through.
Lara! Lara, can you hear me? Those bastards from town are here, and they're coming down after you.
Well, this is a tomb. I'll make them feel at home.